16 here.
This is episode 12 of RV Dream Makers, and we went on a hike this morning. We're outside of Las Vegas in the Low Canyon BLM Dispersed. You can see the beautiful mountains we got in the background with the snow on them. Pretty cool this morning. But in this episode, we're in Joshua Tree National Park in Southern California, and the first place we stayed before we got to Joshua Tree so we could clean our RV and stuff was called Lake Tamarisk Resort out in the middle of nowhere and called Desert City, and there's really no amenities whatsoever out there. Played a little golf. It was really nice resort for people that snowbird down there in the winters. If you notice, a lot of my drone footage in the last one and this one is real jerky from side to side. That's because Michelle has to speed it up, and it's really not that jerky, but she has to speed it up. Okay, when we get to Joshua Tree, and we stayed on the south side, the Joshua Tree is divided up into two different deserts, and you got to go over the mountains to separate them. Bottom desert is Colorado Desert. The top of, or the north side of Joshua Tree is the Mojave Desert, and that's where all the Joshua trees are located. It's just weird how there's none in the Colorado Desert. You cross the mountains, and there they are, just thousands and thousands and thousands of them.
But the Cholla, you'll see the Cholla garden area, that was in the Colorado side.
Right. Then about Joshua trees, they're actually a yucca tree. They're of the yucca family.
Yeah.
And they grow like 3 inches a year their first 10 years, and then only 1.5 inches after that. But there's some of them that are hundreds and hundreds of years old. There's even some they found that are thousands of years old. And the tallest ones grow to be 49 feet, which is pretty tall. But the key is their root system. Their root system is up to 36 feet down. So that we thought that was pretty interesting. Then you'll see in some of our video the Salton Sea. And the Salton Sea is just a very shallow, like the deepest point of the sea is 43 feet. But if you look at a map, and we'll try to have a map image there of Southern California, it's just huge. It's like 8,600 square miles. And it's just a monstrous sea of salt water that, like I said, the deepest part's 43 feet. So it's very shallow. But as far as surface area, it takes up a huge, I mean, you can see it on a map. It's just a huge, giant, well, it's big enough to be called a sea and not a lake or whatever. But
it's got heavy salt. It's landlocked with a high concentration of salt. There's a whole history on it. I think.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot on this sea, and things that happened, and there's a bad smell in the area, and you can't even live around there anymore or anything. I don't know. Maybe you do some research on it. Then the last thing is our picture we have with Scott and Kathy Waller, buddy of mine. We played ball and worked at Six Flags all through the 80s. Lost touch. I got back in contact with him thanks to Facebook being able to find out. Did not know where he had been since the last time I'd seen him in 1992, and he's a associate professor at Biola University in LA, and it's like the Harvard of Christian colleges. But it was really neat, the stories we both had for each other, and we were at lunch like 3 hours, and we'll probably come back to see them. They really want us to come by their house. We just got to figure out where we can park the RV. But it was really neat catching up with them. There's also a couple people that I know from back home that we mentioned in the video that were in the Marines, are married to a Marine. So we hope you enjoy this episode. Okay, then we'll...
We're out for a walk this morning. This is behind our campground where we're staying. Just as sandy. I guess people four-wheeler bring their golf carts back here. But it was super windy, but it's kind of dying down now. But awesome place to get a long walk in for him, and nobody around. We're just walking towards the mountains. So nice cool morning for him. So pretty awesome.
Okay, we're here at Joshua Tree National Park. Me and Michelle getting ready for a hike. We're just parked right over that berm over there, not very far away. There we go. All right, we're headed into the park.
There's like a 4th mile trail. I love these things. This is like so cool. They say they're really bad though. Like they say, they're getting ready to bloom. that sign said that if there aren't cactus wren, then you got to stay like in the center because they'll like shoot spines at you and they're super painful. Gosh, I hope they bloom. I love seeing bloom, but they're super painful to remove, it said. So, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Jody's gonna croak me because he's waiting at the truck. But it's only 1/4 of a mile. So neat.
Okay, we are in Joshua Tree National Park. It is March 2nd, and we are hiking Ryan Mountain, which is way up there at the top. If you see all those trees out there, those are called Joshua trees, and it's 1.5 miles straight up to the top of that mountain, so it's going to be a tough one. It's rated strenuous. These are Joshua trees. That's a little bitty baby Joshua tree. We'll show you more later, but it's going to be an interesting steep uphill hike because it's 1,000 feet, so it's going to be strenuous. So okay, it's a pretty steep hike. Get your blood pumping. We knew it would be. I don't know what mountain it is off in the distance, but there's this valley here. You can see there's the parking lot down there, and here's our going up the mountain still. Okay, we're not to the top yet. The top, it looks like, is right up there, but we are pretty high up. It's a heck of a valley out there. Waiting for Michelle to catch up. Here she comes. I think I can see the top, babe. Okay, we made it to the top. There is Michelle. And you can see the road down there. We parked on down around the corner of that mountain. No, you can't see it from there. But we are at the top of Ryan's mountain, whoever Ryan is. So, nice little climb. We gotta find a place to have some lunch out of the wind though, so we'll have to find. It's pretty windy, so I'm sure you're probably hearing on the Okay, we're also doing the Wall Street Mill hike, which is a mile in, a mile out. And you can see all the Joshua trees. Start out a little bitty and actual turn into big old honking trees. It's weird how they got this kind of
Fir.
covering on them and then they turn into regular old.
They're like yucca trees.
I don't think they're yucca trees.
That's what that looks like. Those look like yuccas.
Look at how many branches they got there. Joshua trees at Joshua Tree National Park. Why did I bring my phone to weight down my pants? Okay, here's an old truck out here in the desert.
We're going to an old mining thing?
They stripped that motor. It's a gas tank. Man, they stripped a lot of stuff off of this. I wonder what year this is.
It's a 57 Chevy.
Oh, you're a goofball. I bet you it's from the 30s or 40s. Okay, here's the old mine. I don't know. Yep. Huh. These rocks are just like, almost like an elephant rock.
Yeah, I think it is.
Wonder how deep that mine goes.
Where are they going?
Who knows? There's that car over there.
Yeah, my center of gravity is a lot higher.
Okay, we are doing Mastodon Mine Trail Loop today. I think it's 3 miles round trip. What are them huge things there? That, well, I've never seen a palm tree that big around. That is weird. That is the weirdest palm trees I've ever seen. That is wild. It's like a whole group of them.
What is this?
What?
It says arsenic.
Soil contaminated with heavy metals including arsenic, lead, and cobalt. And
These are
hazard.
mesquite trees.
No, they're not.
Okay, then why does this say?
These aren't mesquite trees. Those are probably mesquite trees right there. mesquite are like those ones we saw in Texas everywhere. This is so wild. Look at that.
No, they're super hairy.
That is unbelievable. Weird. Is that Salt Lake?
Salt Sea.
Huh?
Jared said it's a sea.
Right, Salt Sea, wherever. Can you show it? Or it's too far away to...
I don't see it from here.
At the bottom of those mountains, you don't see that giant sea.
No, you can't see it from here. Oh, way over through there?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh.
How do you not see that sea?
I seriously doubt if... I couldn't even tell it was water, so I don't think you're going to be able to see it. We didn't go to the peak because Jody was worried about being too sketch, and now we just came upon a mine. That is Mastodon Peak right there. It's an old gold mine. Here, Jody. One of the most productive gold mines.
Mining in the desert was a challenging proposition due to, in large part, to the heat, scarce water, and lack of wood for building supplies. However, many hardy souls took on the challenge. Mastodon Mine is one of approximately 300 mines that were developed within the present-day boundary of Joshua Tree National Park. Records indicate the mine was established in the 1930s and worked on and off by the Halsey family for decades. Originally, the ore was assayed at $744 a ton. However, faulting had severed the main vein and it could not be relocated. Like many of the area mines, Mastodon Mine never lived up to the dream of striking it rich. No.
I guess
Could have been. I guess they could call gold ore. Geez, I'd be worried about in the old days in a cave-in. That would be spooky. Okay, today we're doing Lost Palms Oasis.
we couldn't do the Boy Scout trip.
Because we could not do the Boy Scout trail because they do not have any shuttles running. So it was like impossible unless you had 2 vehicles or if you wanted to go on a 16-mile hike, which no, that's a little much. But we're going to Lost Palms Oasis. We did Mastodon Mine yesterday, which is right here. And we're doing Lost Palms Oasis, which is all the way here and back. So Be a little over 7 miles. It says 7.6. 4 to 6 hours, moderate to strenuous. So, be interesting. Okay, walking through this area. It's like a sandy wash with the rocks on each side. You can see Michelle was back through there. Kind of neat. We've come about 2.5 miles. Got about a mile to go, I guess. So yeah, it's really sandy down this wharf. We have been walking on hard packed dirt or sand for most of the trail. And we get in this, and this tends to get this sand in your shoes. It's a little tougher to walk through. So yeah, I don't know if you can see it because it's so far on the horizon there, but below those far mountains is the Salton Sea, which is quite huge. You'll be able to see it on the map. It's easy to see when you're us, but I know on the camera it's so hard to see, and that's as far in zoomed as I can get. So yeah, we're about, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile from the palms, maybe a half a mile, we don't know. Hopefully we'll know something more once we're over the top of this ridge over there. We'll be able to see it, I would assume. So interesting. We came from a long way back there, but
there it is. That's the sea right there. So that's it. Back in there.
okay, we are at Lost Palms Oasis. Right down there in the bottom. Not as big as I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a huge oasis. It's just a little one. But it's out in the middle of nowhere, so it is kind of interesting. Looks like a good smooth place to lay down and sit on, have some lunch. Okay, we are hiking 49 Palms Oasis today. This trail is where a guy died in 2018. He hiked it in July. I'm sure it was extremely hot. They don't know how he died. They didn't find his body for over a year later. He was a photographer. He was off trail. Evidently, when they found his remains, there was water and food. So they think he either had a heart attack or possibly a heat stroke, because they said the rescue teams were within sound distance of where he was found. So they assume he was unconscious or already dead. The next day when they sent out the rescue teams. So, yeah, he was 51. And evidently an avid hiker and photographer. Okay, this is we're up a ways. That's the town of 29 Palms. I'm guessing the farther group is the Marine base where Lee Elliott and Tasha Head's ex-husband used to be based. Where they used to live out here for a while. So I'm sure they've both done this trail before. Okay, we're at 49 Palms. We made it. About 1.5 miles. Palms right out in the middle of the desert.
Huge.
Yes, they are huge. That's something falling.
Yeah. Look at those.
It almost looks like fruit hanging from them, almost like blackberries.
Or grapes.
Yeah, well, they're smaller grapes.
Well, I know, but blackberries get pretty huge too.
Weird. There's a lot of...
No, you're fine. You're fine here.
Ooh, it's nice and cool down here to maybe eat lunch. Okay, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, please.
And sorry, this one's a little longer again.
Yeah, we're trying
We
to...
had so many hikes.
And we have so much good video coverage, but we're so far behind. As you can see, this was like the 1st of March, and we're about to go into April. And to divide these up into 2, you know, but...
And hopefully enjoy all the footage of it was neat hiking, and it was awesome being outside the park, because we could just go in every day, and we could just go in and just do a quick 3-mile hike and then go do other stuff. So that was really awesome. I like being close to where we can do hikes and stuff. And so it was an awesome place. It was crowded. It was our most crowded spot. Like, we were by a lot of people, but it was awesome to be that close to the entrance of Joshua Tree. So
okay, thanks for following us and our adventures, and remember, God loves you, but only Jesus can save you.
see ya.